My boy, Corey Flagg, my brother from Houston, man. What's good?
Sure.
How you been doing?
Man, been blessed. Can't complain at all.
Man, I know y'all are what, number six in the country right now?
Something like that, yeah.
Man, man, I'm happy for you. Look, obviously I wanted to bring you on here just because I know you, from when we were
Yeah,
together here in Miami. We know a lot about each other. We roomed for a little bit, when you first got there.
we definitely did.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we became very close. You were like a little brother to me, still are. Obviously anything you ever asked, I helped you out whenever I could.
facts. Definitely did.
Hey, but I just want to bring you on and ask you basically how it was, for you. I know obviously we're both from Houston. You know how
Yeah.
it is football down there, but
Hmm.
you were more on the east side. I was on the southeast side. We
Yeah.
weren't too far from each other, but I know it's a little bit different there, growing up and playing football. Tell me how it was for you.
Man, I think I mean, it's what built me, like it's what built the core of me and my character. It's what helped me face this adversity. It just reminds me of where I come from, growing up on the east side of Houston. Um, because I mean, football is just something that's born into you. I feel like just in Texas in general, just Texas football. Um, and I played at Powerhouse. And I know it was a powerhouse when I was younger, going to the games, and those expectations being so high, it just made me work hard, like every day. Uh, I mean, and even looking back at it now, like bro, the way we used to work in the summer was just insane, bro. Like even the guys that knew they weren't playing, like everybody was at the same. You talking about having a standard, and that's why that place is just going to continue to produce because it's just a factory of it's a system, and everybody understands that we have to uh, show each other, like earn our stripes, and earning our stripes is in that weight room and on the field, and that's what we did there at North Shore. And yeah, you were talking about, man, your school, man, your school wasn't no, yeah, I ain't no chump, man. I feel like a lot of teams in Texas, like Adobe, um, who else? Shadow Creek, Pasadena Memorial, Pearland, like Deer Park. Some of these schools like will beat schools, I believe, in like Florida
Oh no,
and
100%.
and diff- because
100%.
bro, just off of it's not like a talent thing. I just think off of discipline alone and off the coaching. Um, Nothing against Florida football. They very talented, but you know, it's a reason why Texas coaches get paid more out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the difference between those two.
There's a coach, and I don't want to say his name because recruiting and things like that. But there was a coach. I remember you were there last year.
Yeah,
We discussed it with all the
yeah,
plays.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually been a question a
A
lot of times.
legend, a legend, a
Yeah,
legend,
yeah.
legend.
You say Texas has the best football. We'll say that.
Yes, that's why. That's why I
But other
stopped
coaches
arguing, man.
there, said, you know what? If you want to get some raw talent that you can develop, you go to Florida.
Yeah.
If you want to make sure you got a guy that's gonna, do all the right things, whatever,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna go to Texas or Georgia. But if you want an absolute
Next.
dog,
Yeah.
you want a dog,
Yeah.
you're going, and this is
Going
just
Texas.
specific high school.
No,
Specific.
facts. I think Georgia got some
If
good
you want a
football
dog,
too.
you're going to North Shore High School. If you want a built-in dog that he's going to fight, scratch, and claw, you're going to North Shore High School.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's what he said. He's like,
He
because
said
of what they breed out there, it's in the water, it's how they grow up. Those are nothing. If you go there and you recruit, you're getting a dog, and you know it. It ain't no question.
I remember that vividly, bro. I definitely
Uh-huh.
remember that.
Exactly.
What
I mean,
you're talking about.
those are their words, not mine. Not mine. I'll just say I agree. I agree. But how was it, in high school? And, obviously, you played Little League football. We know it's intense. You know,
Yeah.
what was the transition like from Little League to high school? Because people don't understand. You talk about Little League football, they're like, whatever. Like, it's Little League. They don't understand how intense Little League football is in
No,
Texas.
definitely. Definitely.
No, no,
Yeah, bro.
it's intense. Like, it's ran like the
Uh
high school ran.
yeah. Our little league games were crazy, man. Like it was always fights and stuff, man. Just parents get into it.
Yep.
And I mean, I know that's across the country, but like ours was consistent and persistent. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Uh, and us as kids seeing that, you know, you have no other. But me personally, I didn't have pressure because my dad, the way my parents were, they weren't into all that mess, and I just had fun when I played. But
100%.
a lot of other guys play under pressure, and I think me personally, that's kind of what messes up guys long term because they just get dried out of like playing the game and not understanding that it's fun. It's just a game because the parents are too tough on them or like push them too much and
Yep.
don't let them just naturally get into it. But uh, yeah, man, we every Saturday, me and my brother, we play on the same team. So my dad was the president of the Panthers, so we suit up. My dad to have our what you call it, it's the night before, and our uncle
Yep. Uh-huh.
uh playbooks and stuff. So yeah, we started at a young age.
How was it playing for North Shore High School?
Honestly, man, it's one of the biggest blessings God has ever restored in my life. Like I said previously, man, it's something that's instilled in me for my entire life. Something that's built me, like the grit, understanding how to because I believe like health and fitness is something that you have to live by like your entire life. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a lifestyle. And I say that to say like North Shore working out there helped me understand like I can go further. You know what I'm saying? Like I can
Mhm.
go a little further today. I can push harder. And like seeing I remember like lifting one day in the summer, bro, and seeing like my hands bleeding, like both my
Mhm.
hands. And I'm like, damn, like I really want this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And doing that consistently and Coach K and Coach Cross explaining to us like you have to be consistent in these things you have to get better every day. And I remember Coach K told us like it was only three things you can do as a player or as a person in general in life. You can either get better, you can get worse, or you stay the same. And it's really that simple when you really think about it on a day-to-day basis like that. And that's how he runs the program there, man. To be honest with you, Ryan, that's why we won so many state championships because man, if you wasn't in that system of man, you either getting better or you getting worse or you just staying the same, then if you staying the same or you getting worse, then you shouldn't be here because you're not buying into what we're doing consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, and I think that's what the biggest thing is there.
So coming out of high school, you had a few offers, and I remember when you committed to Miami. I was there. I was literally in the meeting room when you were walking out,
That
and I was
was
like,
crazy.
I remember all
Yeah,
that. Why'd you commit to Miami? Because I know you went to Oklahoma State on an official visit as well.
yeah, man. So man, uh, backtrack, man. Oklahoma State was really like I wanted to go there. And I had a really good relationship with Jim Knowles. I still do actually, which is crazy, but I had a really good relationship with him, man. Great dude. I didn't think he was that good of a dude, to be real with you. But man, he was a really good dude, down to earth. Um, Way funnier than I expected. It's really crazy how cool of a dude he is. But I really like that school. And the other thing I liked about it was close. It was driving distance from home, so my
Yep.
parents could drive back and forth for the game. Um, and then you know, when I got UM, I was at the Nike camp in Houston, and I ended up winning the MVP at the Nike camp. And Coach Packey and Coach Baker had texted me on Twitter. And I'm like, oh shit, man. You know what I'm saying? This is like the biggest. This when I seen UM, I thought like Alabama, LSU. You know what I'm saying? Because at this time, UM was like just coming off that year of Notre Dame. They just beat
Mhm.
Notre, or they was going into the year beating Notre Dame. Either one
Mhm.
of them. But man, they was Shaq and Mike was there, and they were doing real well, and of course, all the history that comes with it. So when we got it, you know, I think it was just like that's where we're going, just because subconsciously, I just already knew if I wanted a chance to continue my career at a high level, then this is the place I needed to be. just off simply off their history. Not no disrespect to Oklahoma State because
Yeah,
they're a great team every year.
yeah,
Uh, but if we're talking about producing NFL raw like NFL talent
yeah.
with gold jackets consistently, Miami has them beat. And as a kid, oh not as a kid, but coming out of high school, I knew that. So that's really what weighed in on the decision there, along with Coach Diaz, and those guys are just simply incredible, man. I mean, the way they coach and the defensive scheme, it was simple. I learned it literally on a visit. And I was just like, wow, like I was learning green. I'm not gonna call it this play, but
Yeah,
I was learning all this
yeah.
stuff on a
We
visit.
remember.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow, yeah, this is it. And he was like, okay, he was like, this is it. And I'm like, man. So man, I was ready to play there, and I know I can learn the playbook fast. So
Man, you know, I tell people all the time, they don't realize like how like me and your relationship were because
yeah,
at one point, it was almost like people were trying to put us like to compete against each other.
nah, yeah, yeah.
And it was never like
I
that with
remember
me.
that. I remember
It
that.
was
I
never
remember
like
that.
that.
And
They don't
it
understand
wasn't.
like from the beginning. You remember your very, very, very first meeting at Miami. You enrolled early. Right
Hmm.
after the meeting,
I remember that. I remember that, bro.
right after the meeting,
I
I
remember
took
that.
you into that meeting room and I told you, I want you to play.
Yeah,
I'm here to help you. A lot of these guys, they're
yeah,
not going to do that. We play the same exact
yeah,
position, but I'm telling you, I am here for you and I'm here to help you play. I want you to play early and I want you to play
yeah.
a lot. That's I
Hmm.
knew from the beginning.
Yeah,
I knew I wanted to coach. I knew I wanted to help people. I was never one of those guys that, hey, you know what? No, I'm not going to help him because I want to play with him. It was never a competition between me and you. It was more of we're helping each other, trying to get each other better. And like that one point in the season,
facts.
we were playing. Everybody was like coming up to me, "Oh, do you think you should start?" Or Corey. It was never like that with me and you. We're like, man, no, we both
Yeah,
play. We're not those type of guys. That's not our relationship.
yeah.
And people don't know, like, whenever I stopped playing as much, it was because a bunch of, things going on in my life. And you were one of the only people that came up to me and you told me, when I started playing
Yeah.
more or not playing as much, you're like, man, what are you doing? Like, you got these guys
Hmm.
who's talking in the locker room. They need to stop playing with you. Show them what you like, man. Snap out of it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you told me, like you're like that, and you're just, you're not showing it. You're forgetting it. Like you're not doing
Hmm.
it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I
yeah,
was going
man.
through things I was going through, and I didn't even care about football at the time. But you were trying to snap me back into it. One of the only people that do because that was our relationship, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
bro, I just want to tell you from that very very first meeting until like where you are
Hmm.
now, people would call me like during fall camps, like or spring, or ask me like, "Hey man, like, how's Corey looking? How are y'all two?" Man, I would tell them every time, "Man, this kid's getting better. This kid's getting better every year." It
Yeah,
was never like, "Oh no, like
yeah,
I'm gonna start over this kid." No, but I wanted you to succeed, and
yeah.
every year you got better and better, and I was there to help you every step of the way. And bro, to where you are now, from that first time us going into that meeting room, dude, you have grown so much, bro.
Nah, bro.
I'm so
I
proud.
definitely appreciate you, though, bro.
I'm so proud of you. The
I
way you've
appreciate that,
grown as
bro.
a player and as a person. I mean, you've matured so much. You
Yeah.
became a leader in those short amount of years. Man, I mean, it was amazing to,
Hmm.
they talk about old heads, but I was really, only a few years above you. And I was able to see you grow the whole time. Thankfully with COVID, I was able to, from your freshman year to your senior year, see every step of the way to where you are now, transferring and you're
Yeah.
doing it at a different place. You're at a high level. Amazing thing to see for me. I mean, I loved it 100%, and I loved being a part of it. Every step of the way so far. And I'm seriously, I mean, I love seeing it, and I'm proud of you for real.
Appreciate that, bro. That's real, bro. Yeah, man. You and Ridier was the only guys from Houston that I knew. I know you remember us on the rooftop
Yeah.
barbecuing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, bro. Celeste, but nah, bro. I definitely appreciate you, bro, because you and Coach Zuck were only two that was watching film with me when I first got there. And
Mhm.
player wise, it was only you. So yeah, man, you've been there the whole way, man.
Yeah,
In
man.
both and all the defensive systems.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it was,
Yeah,
I wanted you to do better because there was a thing where it's like, I knew your ceiling was higher than my ceiling.
yeah.
So why wouldn't I want, because
Well, I want you, yeah,
I cared about you and I cared about the University of Miami. If I could get him to reach his ceiling,
no doubt. Yeah,
what's going to make the team better? And I cared about you because you're from Houston. And of course, I want the Texas boys to do better than everybody else. Obviously, if we're on
yeah,
the team, because you know how we
yeah,
go Texas versus Florida. Like, that's just a thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, nah,
Yeah.
100% I was going to do that every step of the way. But there was one thing about you. You were a hard worker from day one. What is it in you
Mhm.
that drives you? And still to this day, what drives you to get better? Because you came in as a hard worker and then you took it to a next level. What is it?
Uh, I think the biggest thing is, well, I know the biggest thing is, man, like, you know, it's really an obvious situ I feel like us as humans, bro, make things complex on like what we want, you know. Like looking at scripture, I'm a believer in Christ, man. Like God gives us the answer to the test, or to answers to life in general on like having faith and putting in the work. Because faith without works is dead. So like I understood that from my mom, just spitting out scriptures and always preaching, you know. And what keeps me going is I understand, Ryan, bro, that just like I didn't want to work out, just like I didn't want to watch film early this morning and watch film yesterday after practice, like the linebackers at BC don't want to watch film after practice or don't
Yep.
want to watch film this morning. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to
Uh-huh.
do that. So if I did it, I'm up on them today. Gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it that way, and not just them. It could be the Alabama linebackers or Kiko. It could be anybody. But that's how I look at it, and that's how I continue to like stack days. Because man, I'm human. I have days when I'll be like, man, I don't want to get up this morning and
Mhm.
go look at my computer and then go watch film. I don't want to do all that. You know, it's just like I don't want to do it. Somebody else don't want to do it either. So, but you got to get done. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got here. I feel like I didn't. It's not necessarily like comparing myself. It's more so just reassuring myself that in order to get where I want, the shit is hard, bro. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? But if it's hard, that means it's good, man. If it's hard and you're getting through it, you're getting closer to your dream or to what you want to accomplish. Um, Even looking at you like right now with what you're doing. I remember you and King started your podcast the first time. It was going really well. If whatever happened with it, and now you're doing this again. Man, like life to me is about going through those adverse moments, um, finding out that it looks better on the other side of that adversity. And once you understand that, like, okay, man, I'm ready for whatever now. You just adding more tools to your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? And you look back at it and you like, man, like you laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody
Mhm.
has to start from somewhere.
Yep.
Like everybody got to start from somewhere, bro. And that's the other thing I was gonna tell you too, man. Like I'm proud of you too, Ryan, bro, for doing what you want to do and always having like a good, kind heart, bro. Like that's the biggest thing I can say about you. Like you got a good heart, bro. And for a lot of people in this world, a lot of people, we know some fucked
Yeah.
up motherfuckers, man. I don't want to cuss,
Yeah.
but some bad guys. Uh, but other than that, man, that's really what keeps me going. I would say my family, but I just didn't want to be too typical,
Yeah.
and just give like a broad answer with that. It's just more so like I understand when I tell them, like when I hear myself saying I don't want to do this, I just think about other people because I know they don't want to do it either.
You
You know,
know, this actually reminds me of something I sent you literally like over an hour ago. I literally just sent you, I sent
I
you real.
seen that on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's the weak man complains that life is hard. The strong man knows it's hard and decides to get things done.
exactly.
That's it
It's
right
that
there.
simple. It's
That's
really
it.
that simple. It's really that simple, bro. It's really that simple. And you understand, man, you're gonna have your weak moments. That shit is gonna come. Like you're gonna
Hmm.
have the moments like, man, I don't feel like doing this. I'm just sleeping. You know, but everybody has those moments. What are you gonna do in that moment? Are you gonna give in to it? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Are you gonna be consistent and getting up and doing whatever it is you want to do, man? Uh, so
Well, look, Corey, I just want to thank you for coming on. I mean, what we spoke about is just exactly what I wanted to hear from you, and I wanted people to hear it as well. Because I know this side of you, but most people don't. And
yeah,
it honestly, I think more people should. You're a hard worker. You're a man of faith, right? All
yeah,
right. You're a family man.
hmm
Look, there's not much. I mean, you're a football guy too. We
yeah,
don't, that football's the last thing
yeah,
on that
yeah,
list. Things
yeah,
about you, faith, family, football. You live that, right?
hmm
We seeing you grow is something that, you know, I've loved seeing, and I'm glad, more people are going to be able to see and hear this side of you because you're a hard worker, and that's, man, it's going to take you far, and it has so far. You
appreciate
know,
that, bro.
look, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. Is there any advice you want to give to anybody out there? Could be about football, it could be about life.
Uh, I do. I just want to think how I can say it. Like, I don't want to say you can do whatever you want to do in life because I feel like everybody says that, bro. But it's a true statement. You just,
Comes with work.
yeah, man, it's not easy, you know. For some guys, for some people, it is. You know what I'm saying? But your cards that God dealt you is your cards, man. You're gonna have to get through those cards, and they know nothing else around it. You can't dodge them, you know. And once you get to those cards, like, cause time is gonna pass. Time is gonna pass. What you do with your time is on you. You know what I'm saying? If you give it a shot to get through those cards, and the thing about it too, the way my dad put it to me too, Ryan, bro, because when I was dealing with this was with like mentally stuff at Miami, he was explaining to me, you know, when I was going into practice, when I was going to the games, like, son, you still have to perfect your craft because if you plan on leaving after this year, you need to be able to be ready to be a good player for next, because these reps gonna add up.
Uh-huh.
So don't BS your reps, BS your time and practice, because now you becoming you're not becoming a good player, you know. So I think through that adversity that you have, still continue to be consistent and get closer to your dream is the biggest thing.
I think the way, with what your dad was saying, I think the way I would put it, a coach told me when I was younger, don't waste your time, invest it.
Yeah,
You're going through
that's
that,
it.
you're going through the reps anyways. Don't waste them. Invest it
Yeah,
in.
yeah. It's
So,
that
hey,
simple.
100%. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming
Yep.
on. All right. And I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right, man. I catch you.
Thank you.